Yes, indeed. Welcome into another episode of Total Hockey Now here on the Total Hockey Now YouTube channel. That over there is at Fuzzy Chris 91, Christopher Merez. I'm at Pucking Thoughts, Adam Bernard. Our line mate, Ant Rivera 86, not here today. He'll be with us sporadically in the month of December. So we have him back next week, though. That's good. So it'll just be a defensive pairing today for Total Hockey Now edition. We got a nice jam-packed show today. Marek is always checking in right on time. We appreciate that. One of the loyal ones here. We're also going to be talking quick headlines with some Olympic hockey over the next few weeks. We're going to be doing our roster projections for the big four, from the four nations last year, because once you start getting it, there's a lot of NHL players on Team Switzerland and Germany and stuff like that, but it's tough to project the whole roster when you start taking guys in from various European hockey leagues. So we'll do a highlight of some of the NHL players that are going to be doing that later on. But today we're going to focus on Finland and Sweden. So those will be the two rosters we build. And then, of course, coming up at 5:35 p.m. Eastern time, 2:35 p.m. Pacific, we'll run the board and give our picks from tonight's slate. Hopefully goes better than when we shifted to a Wednesday pre-Thanksgiving slate last time around. I did not have my best night out. So we will look to bounce back here for this one today. Nice hat as well. We should acknowledge that. We are December 4th. We are 3 weeks from Christmas.
It's acceptable now, by the way. If you put your Christmas tree up before December 1st, just have it checked out. Head into one of those places, get it checked out. Be like, why are you the way that you are? You don't need to do that. That is criminal. As of December 1st, you can put your Christmas tree up. You can put your lights up. You can be in the holiday spirits. Anything before that is it's unacceptable, and I will die on that hill.
See, to me, American Thanksgiving kind of gets glazed over because it goes from Halloween to right to Christmas. I had the nerve on October 10th to go shop for one more inflatable Halloween yard decoration. And when I asked for that, because I couldn't find them, it was clearly all Christmas stuff by then. I was made to kind of feel like the asshole for asking for a Halloween decoration on October 10th. Yeah, thanks. I'm not coming in here October 30th, but that's neither here nor there. We're not here to talk about that today. But it is Christmas season. Start with the Mariah Carey and all that stuff, and have at it, have fun. How did you find the tribute to Markov? I don't know.
Yes, Andrei Markov was tributed for the Montreal Canadiens. If you were trying to watch it on Sportsnet, you didn't see it because Sportsnet decided it was a great time to spend 5 minutes talking about the Jets players only meeting instead of that. So you had to watch it in French. Listen, you don't call Andrei Markov the general for no reason. He was a catalyst on the blue line, both offensively, both defensively. A man of few words, but let his play do the talking. It was great to see him back in town. I still can't believe he was able to put so many words together. I've never heard him speak, but definitely still stings that he did not get to 1,000 games in his career or with the Montreal Canadiens because Marc Bergevin decided that David Schlemko and Carl Alzner were better alleys to go down. Let's use it that way. And hindsight being, of course, 2020. But it was pretty 2020 vision looking at that at the time and going, that was terrible. But yes, it was nice to see him back in town. It was good for the organization to recognize him. He is second all time amongst Montreal defensemen, tied in points. I think he trails only Larry Robinson. I think he's tied with Lapointe. So he deserves to be there. It was all for him. Good for him.
Also, Andrei Markov, one of the better shots of his era, and that one I would want to get in front of and block if I had to, as the cat makes an appearance here in the background. Let's get to some headlines here. We got the Tampa Bay Lightning. They signed Ryan McDonough to a 3-year, $12.3 million deal, which, fine, you need defensemen like McDonough if you're the Lightning and you're going to try and compete. So, listen, $4 million a year for a guy like that is fine by me. I know he plays a heavy style, and there's a lot of tread off the tire in that regard. And that when he's done, he's going to be done real quick. But he's still an effective defenseman.
Every time I hear Ryan McDonough's name, I think of Scott Gomez. That's the association I have with Ryan McDonough. It's just it still stings. Doesn't hurt as much because it worked out for everybody, and then in the end, the Montreal Canadiens, they got the better of the New York Rangers at one point when they acquired Alexei Kovalev, so it's fine. But every time I hear Ryan McDonough's name, I'm just like, man, he's still going, and good for him. Yes, Tampa Bay needs some bodies that can play, and that can help their organization just stay afloat here. So, good for him for getting the deal done. Like you said, once that body falls apart, though, it's going crashing down. So if they can get a couple more serviceable years out of him, they'll be in a good spot.
Tyler Seguin likely done for the season with a torn ACL. That happened against the Rangers on Monday night. You could tell the second he went down and tried to get up, and the way he was helped off, like, okay, we're not seeing him anytime soon. So
yeah, that is tough. So now they're trying to figure out it. I mean, he's probably going to be done for the season plus playoffs. I can't imagine him at his age now getting the ACL surgery and then being in shape enough to play. But that's unfortunate.
Little stat nugget: Dallas Stars now 4 for 4 on the back ends of back-to-backs in terms of getting a victory after last night's win in Newark, New Jersey. Something they like playing that second night of the back-to-back for whatever reason. Something to file away in the back of your head there. Who's going to get Sherwood? Well, we could talk about that a little bit later. I don't know if you're talking about maybe Kiefer Sherwood from Vancouver. We'll see. I mean, it's still a little too early to kind of project that stuff. I mean, one of the segment ideas we were kicking around was the American Thanksgiving playoff team correlation thing, but the NHL is so wide open right now. Like, it's really tough to get, outside of teams like Colorado and things like that, it's really tough to get a lay of the land. Who's going to be the true buyers, sellers, and who's going to be in between those two.
With the exception of the Central Division, every other division is still, anybody's division to take.
Pretty much. Let's talk a little Olympics here, since we're going to be talking about the Team Finland and Team Sweden rosters here in a second. Apparently, the rink is 3 feet too short. I don't think that's that big of a deal. We're not talking about playing old Boston Garden dimensions that were 9 feet too short and 2 feet too narrow, where now you're starting to feel those effects of a smaller surface. I think the bigger concern is going to be the ice quality. Hockey players will figure out the dimension situation. They'll move the blue lines a little bit closer to the neutral zone. So maybe there's less offsides because there's less chance to go offsides. Maybe that helps. But I think it's more about the ice quality surface than it is more about the dimensions. If we're talking about 3 feet, that's 1.5 feet on each side. It's negligible. I might have a 1.5 foot ruler nearby here.
It's still a gong show. I mean, I don't know how you build something and just get the dimensions wrong. It's just unacceptable on every single level. The delays as well, like the ice quality's got to be good as well, right? There now it seems like it's very crunch into if it is going to be ready. Daly came out and said, listen, if it's not, then the players just won't go. And you're like, hold on, like don't say that. Okay? Hold on, everybody calm down. Okay, we've waited for this. Don't take it away from me. But just an absolute just cluster of terribleness going on there with the IOC and everybody's involved with it. For those of you who are unaware, 3 feet is a meter for those of you who live north of the border. So we'll do the conversion for you. 0.91 meters. So not a full meter, but close enough to it. I do agree that 1.5 feet, 2, it's not the end of the world, but again, how did you who failed?
Yeah, it's hockey rink
engineering there.
It's readily Googled. How big does this rink need to be?
First of all, I was surprised that it is 1.5 feet shorter than NHL size. I was like, why are we not playing on European ice? I thought it was going to be European ice to start with, like every other place
that's what I thought too. Yeah, I assumed. I was like, oh, that's a big deal. First I'm like, oh, it's not a big deal. It would be less of a big deal because of a European surface so wide. If it's 3 feet on who cares? But end to end. But yeah, I assumed they were going to be playing on the Olympic surface too. Yeah, typical rink dimensions for that. So I think I like the NHL size rink a little bit better. It is a little more wide open for European style rink, but
I like the wide open. I think the NHL rink should be bigger. Like, players are bigger, they're faster, they're stronger. make it bigger, more space out there for everybody to operate. Everybody wants to see more skill anyways. So make it a little bit bigger. Can you imagine 3-on-3 on international ice? Oh my God, that'd be fantastic.
There would be no excuses for the backouts and restarts at that point. You got enough.
You have all the space in the world.
Yeah,
The NHL is, if the NHL is like, oh, I don't want to go to shootout because everybody apparently hates it. Just make the ice bigger. There you go. Get rid of that.
They won't, because what you're doing is you're now taking away some of the highest value seats in every building in the league. So they will never do it. Never. Maybe when you start getting this, because let's face it, all these teams just got arenas built for the most part over the last 10 to 12 years, 10 to 15 years. When you start to get that new wave of buildings, maybe that idea will get kicked around a little bit, but I don't think the NHL is increasing the size of their rink anytime soon, just for that reason, that you're going to lose some of the best seats, the most expensive seats you can charge for, best or not. Everybody, to sit on the glass is an experience, but you also don't get to see a lot of the rink when you're sitting right up on the glass either.
Listen, I'm just here to try to provide solutions to the billionaires who own sports franchises.
And the other thing too, like, I know there's a lot of talk about this, that, and like the locker rooms are going to be converted trailers and stuff like that. It's not the amenities that maybe they're going to be used to. Like, these guys are putting on the sweaters for their country. Like, once they get over there and get into they are not going to care. It is going to be all about winning the next game and bringing home. So there's going to be, and the other thing too is I feel like every Olympics, there's always one facility, summer or winter, that like, oh, this one's running close on time. Who knows? They're going to be cutting it close for, opening ceremonies. And it's always fine. They always figure it out. There's way too much money invested in the Olympics for them to half-ass it at the end. Like, it'll get done. Like I said, to me, smaller surfaces, stupid as that is, like, how did you get that wrong, is less of a big deal. That they need to make sure that quality of ice is, because that can dampen the A, players can get hurt that way. B, talking about a fast, wide open game, that's not happening with crappy ice. So to me, that's the bigger concern, is making sure they have that formula dialed in for the nice ice that everybody likes to skate on. That's the bigger concern.
Couldn't agree more.
Let's speaking of Olympics, we said we're going to do Team Sweden and Team Finland today, Team USA next week, and then Team Canada the following week. And then the week after that, because we're going to switch on Christmas Eve week, probably go back to Tuesday that week. We'll talk about players on other countries that we're not going to do a full roster projection for, but deserve some love too. So without further ado, let's let's do Team Finland first, because I feel like that's going to be a little bit of an easier one to build, and they get thin real quick here. I would assume we're going to start with Sebastian Aho and Rupe Hintz as your top two centers. I like to kind of build middle down. So we're okay with Aho and Rupe Hintz here.
It's unfortunate that Barkov's not there, because it would have been Barkov, Aho, Rins. That's a deep center group if you want to talk about one. But Sebastian Aho, Rupe Hintz down the middle. Something wrong with that.
Now, are we keeping Rantanen with his buddy Hintz, or are we playing him with Aho on the top line on the right side?
Ideally, he probably plays with Aho, but considering now he's a Dallas Star, the connection with Rupe Hintz, these are short tournaments, so you don't have time to start trying to build that connection, right? And kind of that synergy. It's not, they played together at the Four Nations, right? Aho and Rantanen, so it's not an impossible task.
But like you said, like last year was a put together at the trade deadline. You're still building chemistry. Now you've had a whole camp. By then you're going to have more than half of an NHL season in the bag. So yeah, I think it went to me with the Olympics, like the top two lines. It's not really if you're a good team, there's no line one, line two. It's just your top two lines, and you're just trying to find the best combination amongst those six. So yeah, I think Hintz and Rantanen stay together. That's what I would do.
I would do the same thing.
All right. So far we're off to an easy start here. Let's get I got a little list here, and I'm taking players off as we add them. Sad to take Barkov off the list, but there he goes nonetheless. All right. So who do we want to have on Aho's left or right side? Are we talking like well, why don't we finish the Rupe Hintz Rantanen line? Do we want to reunite Granlund, who played with them in Dallas down the stretch last year? Capo Kakko, Arturi Lehkonen. So who do we think there? Teuvo Teravainen?
I probably Teuvo Teravainen is the guy who's going to get the look. I think the Swiss Army knife here is Mikael Granlund, because he could play the center, he could play center, he could play wing. Like, to me, I feel like you could play Anton Lundell down the middle, right? And I mean,
Yeah, you could
like,
put like
you know what I mean? You could put Lundell there. You probably move. Yeah, I wouldn't have Granlund playing center just because of how flexible he is. Then you have Eric Hall as like your fourth center. That's pretty fine. I would put a Turi Lehkonen with Sebastian Aho, just because Aho's line is going to have to command that tough outing every night. They're going to have to be the line that goes out there and probably has to play the best matchups. And, Turi Lehkonen is more than capable of doing it. He's going to, he's going to the net. He's going to make the best of his opportunities. He's a player who can, create offense. And then, yes, if you put Granlund on that top line, it's you know what I mean? He's the guy who you can fluctuate. If you want to put Rantanen on that top line, he did play with the Turi Lehkonen, so there's some familiarity there as well for him. If you're looking for that kind of like that offensive boost, maybe you want Hintz and Turbo to play against others lines, try to match them down. This lineup is very flexible. So, but I would have no problem playing Granlund on that top line.
I think next we do Eetu Luostarinen here. If we're going to talk about keeping guys that are familiar with each other, obviously Panthers teammates, kind of plays that role anyway there for the Panthers. So go Ryan. All right, so we still got to fill out 2 right wing spots and a left wing spot here.
I would put Patrick Laine on that right wing. I mean, he can't play on a fourth line role, and I don't think he is a 13th forward kind of thing, because this team needs some scoring, and Laine can do it on the power play. That's probably where he's going to set up.
Back in time, though, is the big thing, though.
We'll find out at that rate, right? But even if you want to ease him into it, shelter the minutes, don't get him caught out there having to play defense, you can run him around there with 2 very good Panther forwards who could facilitate the puck. Luostarinen and Lundell don't get the love that they deserve because Florida is stacked everywhere else. That's why.
So I'm going to italicize him if he's healthy and ready to go, because again, when it's to play for your country, he's going to try his best to be out there and do it. And the timeline lines up that he could pull it off. So we'll put him on there. So there we go. So now we got to build out the rest of this fourth line here. Talking Jesperi Kotkaniemi, Capo Kakko, Eli Tolvanen, Joel Armia. Those are kind of your candidates here to round out these last 2 spots.
Joel Armia is kind of like a lock there. He's going to kill penalties. He is very good at what he does now. He can provide you with some of that offense. It's not much, but you bring him there to be able to kill penalties, play that well. I would probably have, if he's healthy, Capo Kakko on that fourth line. Like, if he does play, maybe he doesn't play regularly for Finland, but that's probably where I would hold it. I wouldn't have a problem switching him out with somebody like Tolvanen at that point. They're kind of the same player at this point.
All right, so I'll put, again, if healthy, I'll italicize him. And then, so I guess that leaves us with, again, and if these guys are healthy, we'll give Eli Tolvanen, I guess Kotkaniemi if he's healthy.
I mean, Kotkaniemi can barely break the Carolina Hurricanes center core group, so I don't know what more he could do here.
All right, so now let's go to the blue line here. So Miro Heiskanen, obviously going to be first guy up there. Asa Lindell is hurt right now, so I don't know who we're going to be putting on that top pairing with him, but
I mean, ideally, you want Esa Lindell to play next to him just because of that familiarity, right? It kind of makes it, but the injury is there. Probably Mikkola then at that point. Mikkola is a good, like, this back end for Finland is not going to be sexy, but they are going to be effective. They are going to be real tough to play against. And listen, myself included, at the Four Nations, we didn't give them enough love. And then they reminded us that they are a very good hockey nation. But like defensively, they are going to be tough to play against. And if you have Heiskanen and someone like Lindell, you get like he's been back. And then he's been back. And then you have Henry Jokiharju and let's say someone like Mikkola there on that second pairing. That is like, those are big boys. That is a tough matchup. And like Heiskanen was not there for the Four Nations either. So this makes them a much better team defensively.
I'm gonna here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw Mikkola on the second pairing because I think the second D pairing, because that's pretty much where he plays for Florida. And he's exactly the kind of defenseman they're gonna need to kind of get through the plays on the left side. So there. And who do we want? You want to put Yoki Haru with him?
I'd probably put
Yoki.
I'd probably put Yoki Haru with him. He can keep up and play just as many minutes as Mikkola can. So that's not it's not a downgrade at that point.
And then that last pairing, Mata Ristolainen.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Mata Ristolainen, kind of get them out there a little bit. You don't want them to get caught.
Yeah, that's that third pairing very much going to be like like you said, trying to spare the minutes for the other one.
You're rolling those, those two first pairing units a lot. Look for Heiskanen to play upwards of 26 minutes a night. Same thing for Lindell, Mikkola, and Yoki Haru. They're going to go out there and, give it their all.
And don't forget, Ristolainen hurt right now, but should be back in time. And we said we're going to side. All right, so not the best, the goaltenders here. Before, we can evaluate the roster in a second. We're looking at UC Saros, Kevin Lankinen, and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. Who would you start amongst those?
I would probably have to start Saros. I know it's not great, but I mean, UPL hasn't been any better. And Kevin Lankinen is just not he's not good enough. He's just not good enough to play.
Oh, Pekka.
You're getting very good at spelling Finnish names.
Real quickly here, and then so I guess that would be he would count as one of the extras there, and then the extra defenseman you'd carry Euro Vaakainen, Juuso Välimäki. I mean, yeah,
whichever one's healthy.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so we'll throw one of those guys on there. I'll throw Juuso. Change that back to white because that was originally the Swedish color. But all right, so we've got one team built. Let's do one that's going to be a little more fun here. A little one that's going to be a little more debate because that was more like, all right, we kind of have to put where we got to put everybody, and that's pretty much it. Is your hockey pool active during the Olympics? Well, I mean, they can't because everybody's on break, but I'm sure the DraftKings and the Underdogs and all these companies are going to have some sort of Olympic, besides, being able to wager on the games at your traditional ways. I'm sure they're going to have some sort of thing to go along with it. Because, how could you not? It's going to be all eyeballs are on the Olympics. Like, yes, the NBA is still going on and college basketball, but it's going to get
nobody cares at that point. Nobody cares.
All right, so let's talk a little Team Sweden here. So who's going to be our top line center here for a Swedish roster? Maybe in past years you'd be talking about Mika Zibanejad. Is Leo Carlson earned that right? Is it a Joel Eriksson-Ek? Who do we think here to take the honors of top line center for Team Sweden?
I think it probably goes to Elias Pettersson at this point. Like his offensive game has been good. His defensive game has been up there. He's out there. He's blocking shots. He's playing the important minutes. I think you can move him in. Like Sweden is, again, talk about a team stacked down the middle. Sweden is stacked down the middle. They have so many players who can play different parts of it, right? Second, I would probably put someone like Joel Eriksson-Ek, just because, again, he does play a ton of minutes. He does play at a top six role, for Minnesota. So he deserves it. Third, for me, this is a William Karlsson spot.
That's it. Like third line center. That's his bread
exactly. Like that's the third part. The problem is yes, Leo Carlsson has, the points to back it up and everything. The problem is this is an international tournament, and the guys ahead of him are elite on both ends of the puck right now. And then William Karlsson is going to play those tough minutes, man. He's going to go out there. He's going to do what he's got to do. Like you could intertwine it as you wish. You want William Karlsson to be your front center. It doesn't matter. He's going to go out there and have to play the tough matchups. And then you can give Leo Carlsson that spot in the, line 3, line 4, wherever you want to call it. Leo Carlsson's not going to play a defensive role. You want his offense in that lineup. You want him to be able to go out there and contribute at a high level. He has shown that he can do it in the NHL. Let's see if he can carry it here to the biggest stage.
Carlson on the IR right now, but he's week to week. So again, this tournament's not happening till about 2 months from now. So we assume he'll be back by then. So we're going to throw Leo Carlsson on that fourth line center there behind William Carlson.
I would.
All right, there we go. Wild Bill Carlson. All right, so we got Leo. Hope if I spelled his name right. Yeah, definitely going to be a lot of Scandinavian spell checking here for me today. You've built down the middle here, so let's go on the let's. I would assume we're throwing William Nylander first line right winger. That's much a no.
I would throw William Nylander there. I would probably put somewhere like his left wing. I'd probably put Jesper Bratt there because Nylander can finish. He can finish. Elias Pettersson can do a little bit of both, but Pettersson and Bratt being the facilitators on that line for William Nylander is exactly what the team needs, right? Those are two high-end guys. Pettersson plays on a team where he has to do much because he doesn't have a shooter with him. Jesper Bratt plays next to Jack Hughes, and that works out well for him. So I think that would be fine there. I would surround Joel Eriksson Ek with probably two of the most elite forwards that you can find. So Philip Forsberg on one side, Adrian Kempe on the other. Just like that is like that line you want to go out there, and when you're talking about, Corsi 4 and all that and expected goals for, you want that line to go out there and just hammer away. They are taking shots. They're making life difficult. They're making it good. Probably with William Karlsson, I need some guys to have some defensive play there. So probably a Gabriel Landeskog, right? That's where I want to go with it. I'll throw Mika Zibanejad on that right wing. I think that's like, you got to put him somewhere, right?
Yes.
You got to get something out of Mika Zibanejad. I don't think he's a centerman. I think, again, these are, Sweden's got a good team. So you're trying to find guys who can play well together. Landeskog is very responsible defensively. Zibanejad can play the role if he has to. No problem there. With Leo Carlsson, I want some kind of fun here. I want Lucas Raymond on one side just seems like a good idea. And maybe they want to bring in somebody who can support that line, a little bit of veteran. I would just have William Eklund on the other side. Just let these kids just run it. Every once in a while, give them a shift and say, hey, put them in the offensive zone if you have to and say, hey, let's go. Right? They can keep up with it. Leo Carlsson has proven he can play defensively. Eklund is, it is what it is. And Lucas Raymond has that offensive touch. I want to see Carlsson and Raymond play on the ice at the same time. That'll be fun.
What I like about that line is you're almost like, okay, this is going to be one of our line 4 right now is going to be line 1 or 2 in the next Olympics. That's what you're trying to do there. If you need to run them out there because you're trailing and you need some offense, then you know what I mean? Run them out there. That's a line that can play. And Eklund is one of those guys that does. You can count on him to do what needs to be done on the rink. He's a very responsible player there. And then for my forward extras, I'm going to say Elias Lindholm, Fabian Zetterlund. I think would be two good candidates as your forward extras there. You could go Mikhail Backlund. You could go Marcus Johansson. You could go Victor
That's what
Arvidsson.
I was thinking. They might but there's a lot of good veteran presence on that team there. You have a lot of guys who have played for Team Sweden before. So, do I have to carry Backlund? No. Do I think Sweden wants to? Yes. But Elias Lindholm probably comes, yes, as that forward that if they need a little bit more defense, a little bit more. I think are they going to dress though 13 forwards, 7 defensemen, and then 2 goalies every night?
I'd have to double check that. I'm not 100%.
I don't know if they are either. I know the World Juniors does it. I don't know if the Olympics does it as well. Because then you could just leave Lindholm there and you can, when you have an important face-off in your own zone, you could move Leo Carlsson off there, let Lindholm go out with the draw.
I would think players would hate that. 13 forwards,
it sucks, but listen, this is the Olympics. You know what I mean? I'd rather be the 13th forward on the team at the greatest tournament in the world than be on my sofa.
All right, so we'll have Elias Lindholm, and then do we want to say Marcus Johansson, Fabian Zetterlund, or Backlund, or Olofsson for our other forward extra?
I can live with Fabian Zetterlund there. I'm okay with that.
He's a good all-around player. That's
Absolutely.
the thing. He can kind of like, okay, you're missing something? All right, he can provide that for you. He can fill whatever role, kind of like we talked about before. Swiss Army life. All right, let's get to the goaltenders here: Jacob Markstrom, Philip Gustafsson, Linus Ullmark. Who are you starting?
It's got to be Philip Gustafsson. It's got to be Philip Gustafsson at this point. He is the most reliable of the three. It's been a challenging season for Markstrom. Let's call it that. It's been even worse for Linus Ullmark. So it's Philip Gustafsson's net. I don't think the other two touch the ice unless it's one of those games against the countries that are maybe not to the same level.
All right, we are just a couple of minutes away from running the board for this Thursday night preview. We got to build the Swedish blue line out first. So I guess we're gonna throw Rasmus Dahlin on the top pairing here.
Rasmus Dahlin, Victor Hedman, minute eaters. Those guys go out there. Dahlin has some offense to his game. We know that. He's very good defensively as well. We know what Victor Hedman plays, right? And how they want to go out there and how they want to operate. That is a big boy line. They go out there and things are going to happen when they're on the ice. Here's my second pairing, and I think it's a pretty good. I would have Gustav Forsling and Mattias Ekholm play together. Your typical line that can shut down opponents. They're tough to play against. I picked Ekholm over Rasmus Andersson. I just think Ekholm is just built for that.
They both play left sides. You want to just kind of put them down the left and be done with it?
I would have one switch to the right side. I know you want a lefty to play on the left, the righty to play on the right. I get it. I also want that line though, because here's what happens. You have to give Erik Karlsson a spot. I don't want Erik Karlsson to have to go out there and play heavy defensive matchup minutes, right? So in the back of my mind, I was like, well, then you have someone like Erik Karlsson, and then maybe you pair him with someone like Brodin or Rasmus Andersson, and you say, okay, well, you can get away with it kind of thing.
All right, so we know we got to put Karlsson on that third pairing there. Who do you want to skate with them?
I would probably put Rasmus Andersson with him. That's probably the guy I would put with him. There's some offense to his game.
Having a good year in Calgary.
You did. You put Chris Letang. He is Canadian.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry about
Close.
Penguins defenseman there.
They all look the same. But yes, you could, if you want, you could put Gustav Forsling and then move Rasmus Andersson up one or Mattias Ekholm down for you can. I just feel like you're penalizing either Ekholm or Gustas or Forsling in some way because they got to play with Karlsson, and it's not his defensive game. I'm touting.
Now, who's going to be the extra defenseman here? Jonas Brodin or Hampus Lindholm? I'd go probably.
You'd go Brodin?
I think so. I mean, I guess you could probably use another puck mover with Lindholm. I could see that argument.
Lindholm's pretty good defensively. That's what's my other understanding. He can block shots. With Charlie McAvoy out, Lindholm's come in. He looks pretty good. Not that Jonas Brodin isn't, but I just feel like the offensive game of the puck moving side of Lindholm's game is something that the Swedes will need.
Oh, there we go. So there's your team Sweden looking at the screen there. Here's your team Finland one more time. The italics, obviously, if the guys are healthy enough to go by then. But nonetheless, that's what it looks like there. Now, next week when Ant returns, we are going to do Team USA. Now, that should be fun. That'll be a good one to do there. But it's time to get to our picks. We're a little late here, so let's not waste any time. All right. Time for our Thursday night pucking preview. First game up here, and I have a feeling neither of us are touching this one. It's going to be the Blues at the Bruins, 7:00 Eastern puck drop, one of the many. Jordan Binnington going to go against Eunice Korpisalo. If we're looking to take either of these teams on the money line here, it's going to be, as the thing reloads for me, the Bruins plus 120 home underdogs, the Blues minus 142 road favorites, total 5.5. This is a stay away spot for me. The fact that the Blues are so heavily favored worries me. I know there's no Pastrnak or McAvoy in the lineup, but the Blues we're talking about, maybe it's a good matchup for the way they play, but they don't deserve this kind of respect. Vegas knows something. I'm not touching it.
Listen, sometimes I think I'm smarter than Vegas. This is one of those times where I truly believe that I am. I know Jonas Corposalo is a flaming pile of terrible. I get that. But the St. Louis Blues are miserable in every sense of the word. They cannot score. They don't generate shots. And yeah, David Pastrnak is not there, but Morgan Geekie is filling the net like it's nobody's business. I'm taking the Bruins money line. You're telling me that the Blues get to be road favorites in this economy? Nah, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
The fact that Corpusalo has been not great. That's what, I agree. You get excited when you see the Bruins at home against the Blues plus money. Like you almost want like.
But Corpusalo has been less terrible at home. Like that's not saying much, but he's less terrible at home. So you do what you wish with that information.
Blues 2 or fewer goals in 8 of their last 9. They are 19 of 21 on the penalty kill in their last 11. Bruins 9-2-3 in their last 14 overall against the Blues. So there you go. If you're looking for a trend, I know some of these it's like, well, half of these guys didn't play for some of them. There are trends to look at. Like, that's what happens. What we do. Rangers at Senators, 7:00 Eastern puck drop there. Levi Merrylainen going to be going for the Ottawa Senators. No confirmation on the Rangers yet, but I would expect, I could see this a spot where maybe they give Shesterkin a night off. Got a big weekend coming up. Maybe they roll him again. I mean, that gives them the best chance there. Rangers are 5-1-1 in their last 7 road games against Ottawa. Mika Zibanejad, 11 points in that span. Panarin has 22 road points on the season, the most in the NHL on the road. Jake Sanderson, 6 points in his last 4 games. If you're looking to be on the money line, Rangers plus 110, Ottawa minus 130, total 5.5. I got the Rangers plus 114 at FanDuel. I'll take my chances against Merrylainen, 3.40 goals against, 874 save percentage. The Rangers, and listen, I apologize for poo-pooing their win over the Blues last week. Like, oh, so what? It's the Blues. That kind of got them going. They've only lost 1 game since then. The win over the Stars the other night was impressive. They seem to have some mojo going right now. So I know, Ottawa recently got Brady Tkachuk back, but I like the Rangers on the road. I'll take my chances on the money line.
I want it to be Igor, and I don't know if it is. And if it's not, then
that's a problem.
Like, listen, if it's Merrylainen and whoever is backing up Igor, then I feel like what's the over sitting at here? Is it
5.5 in this one?
Then it's over, obviously. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those things. Even as bad as the Rangers are at home, once they leave MSG, they seem to figure it out. So man, it's tough. It's tough. This is like, I'm just going to stay away from it because there's at this moment, there are too many uncertainties for me to be able to take a decision on this.
Could be Spencer Martin in net if it's not Shesterkin. So, but I think the Rangers on the money line against Ottawa. I like it.
I didn't even know Spencer Martin was the backup outside of. I know Jonathan Quick's hurt. I didn't know Spencer Martin was the next guy up.
He is the next guy up. Next up on the board, we got the Penguins at the Lightning, 7:00 Eastern puck drop here. It's going to be Tristan Jarry going against Jonas Johansson here. If you're looking on a money line play here, Lightning minus 166, Penguins plus 140, total 6.5. Looking at some trends for the game, Penguins have 9 goals in their last 2 road games. Kucherov's got 18 points in his last 9 games against the Penguins. Hagel's got 8 goals in his last 7 games. When he's not, taking cheap shots at Adam Fox. I'm staying away from this game, but I do lean over due to the goalie matchup.
I would have leaned the same way. I mean, Johansson's not very good, but Tristan Jarry's been better. So,
Johansson's actually been.
Yeah, but I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that.
Lately, he's been, I want to say, reliable. Fair word to use.
Listen, if you're trusting Jonas Johansson in 2025, you're you're digging deep here. You're digging deep.
Right, there we go. So, all right. So we are, like I said, we're running the board here. We're going through. Sometimes we're gonna have leans, sometimes we won't. Now, our friend here who can't be here today, but is checking in, Mr. at Ant Rivera, Tony Rivers, with some plays. And we'll have, I mean, you'll see him in the comments, but we'll pop him in here as we go through game by game. Next up on the list, it's going to be the Nashville Predators at the Florida Panthers. It's going to be Sergei Bobrovsky for the Panthers. We don't know yet for the Predators, but likely UC Saros. Preds are 1-4 in their last 5 against Florida. Sam Reinert, 16 points in his last 10 games. Panthers have 4 straight home losses. So that's a little weird for a team that we usually associate with being pretty well at home. On the money line here, the Panthers are minus 185, Predators plus 154. Ant likes the over 6.5 here. So when I was looking at this game initially, I was looking at the total here, but and I agree. If I had to lean on the total, it would be over the 6.5. But I'm going to take the Panthers in regulation minus 130. I know over the last few games the Predators have been playing better, but I'm not buying it. Panthers have struggled at home lately, but this stretch right here for the Panthers is a great get right spot to get home victories. You got Nashville tonight, Columbus Saturday, and then Sunday is the Islanders. So this is a stretch here to get some victories at home again. So I like the Panthers to take it in regulation.
Panthers have decided they wanted to lose. They sit last in the Atlantic. I know it's close. I get it, but I think the injuries are starting to catch up to them here. They're not as dominant as they've been previously, and that has caused Sergei Bobrovsky to come back down to earth. His overall numbers are not very good. So I am following clearly. Tony Rivers is on it here. I'm taking the over as well. The Predators, I know they struggle to score, and it's tough when you look at them and you go, yes, let's do this. But they've scored a bunch of goals lately, and with the way the Panthers are playing, maybe it's not like a complete blowout. I need this game to be trading chances, and I need it to be like a 3-3 kind of thing heading into the third kind of fun stuff here. I can't have this be like 5-0 Panthers, because then we're not like the Predators are. They're chalk. They're not coming back from that.
So yeah, I think that's, if you want the over 6.5, it's plus 114 at DraftKings. You can get a couple of 6s out there at minus 115. I saw a 5.5 at minus 145 over at Hard Rock, but at that point, just play the 6, or play the 6.5. So we're almost through the 7:00 Eastern puck drops here. We got the Avalanche at the Islanders. Goaltending matchup for that one, as we scroll through here, is going to be Mackenzie Blackwood versus Ilya Sorokin. The Avalanche are on a 17-game point streak, second longest in team history. This will be Brock Nelson's first game back against the Islanders on Long Island. Islanders are 8-2 in their last 10 home games against the Avalanche. Looking to make a play on a side here. Avalanche are minus 185 road favorites. Islanders plus 154. Total is 6.5. You can have your 6.5. I'm gonna go under 6, minus 105 at Caesars. Avalanche are the best team in the league right now, no disputing that. But Ilya Sorokin sparkled in a 2-1 win against the Lightning the other night. Snapped their 7-game winning streak, 30 saves, 967 save percentage. The Avalanche have allowed a total of 5 goals in their last 6 games. Mackenzie Blackwood is back with a vengeance, 4-0, 0.50 goals against, and a 979 save percentage in those 4 games. So I am all over the under 6 there, minus 105. And Ant also agrees. He's got the under 6.5. So he'll take that 6.5. I'll take the 6.
How did this get all the way to 6.5?
Yeah, I don't know
where are the goals? I get the Colorado Avalanche are a wagon of a team, but they don't operate the same way on the road, and that is fair. They are, they come down a little bit. It's going to be a much closer game than I think people want. The money line is way too juiced on the Avalanche there. I know we liked, specifically me, like to poke fun at the Islanders and their 15 fans, but the Islanders have played well. And you're right, Sorokin has been a big part of that. Started the season a little bit shaky, but when your head coach is one of the best goalies to ever touch ice, at some point you'll figure it out. So I am also on the underbus here. I don't know where we got 6.5 from. I don't know why it's even that high.
That's why I'm taking under 6.
This is a great game to watch if you are a true hockey fan, because it might not be a high-scoring event, but it'll be good. It'll be good all around. It'll be tight. You'll see what a true hockey game looks like.
Yeah, that one actually probably because now we've only got one more game left of the 7:00. That's probably the best. I mean, maybe Penguins Lightning probably will be a little bit more competitive than that. But yeah, I'd say those are your two that you should be flipping back and forth. The final one of the 7:00 Eastern slate is going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs at the Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina 6-2 in their last 8 against Toronto. Looking at the goaltending matchup for that, it's going to be Joseph Wall against Freddie Anderson. If you're looking to make a bet on the money line, Carolina minus 205, Maple Leaf plus 170, total 6.5 there. I got the Leafs plus 1.5 at Caesars minus 135. I think the Hurricanes win. The Leafs have allowed an average of only 2 goals in their last 4 games, and Carolina's had a little bit of a bumpy stretch here. They only beat Calgary 1-0 in overtime before taking advantage of a Jets team that's just been in total disarray. They had lost 3 of 4. So I think Maple Leafs can keep it close. Joseph Wall looked good the other night against the Panthers. I know they've been struggling, but still at minus 135, some value to get the Leafs plus 1.5.
Well, nothing to do with this. I want Freddie Anderson to stop starting games. He's not good. He's not good anymore. He's not good. This should have been Brandon Boosie's game. He has been exceptionally good. And I get it's a small sample size, but every time they run Freddie Anderson out there, 2 things happen. 1, doesn't go well. And 2, you risk him hurting himself by, I don't know, sneezing. I just don't like it. I can't trust Toronto on the road. They're not very good. Like, they've been better, yes, but this is still a fragile team with a terrible defense. I'm just not going to do anything with them.
So Chris staying away here. I think because it's Anderson too. Like, again, Carolina could win a 1-goal affair. I think Toronto keeps it close. Like I said, little value there at minus 135 at Caesars. I like that one. Now we are in the 7:30 window. This is the ESPN plus Hulu game tonight here in the States. Red Wings at the Blue Jackets, 7:30 Eastern puck drop. Looking for the goaltending matchup there. It's going to be Elvis Merzlikins going for Columbus. Don't know who's going for the Red Wings yet, but I would assume it's going to be Talbot since Gibson went the last time, and they tend to alternate those guys. Looking on the money line here, Detroit plus 100 on the road. Columbus, slight home favorites, minus 120, total 6.5. Patrick Kane, 88 career points against the Blue Jackets. Alex DeBrincat, 15 goals against Columbus. Zach Werenski, 15 points in his last 10 games. Kirill Marchenko expected to play after missing 4 games with a lower body injury. This is the beginning of a 6-game road trip for the Red Wings that will take them out to the Northwest here. The Red Wings are kind of bullies. They kind of tend to beat the middle and subpar teams. I'll take them on the money line at even books. It's a little bit of a gut play here, but attacking Elvis Merzlikins is never a bad strategy. And Detroit was able to get 4 by Jet Greaves earlier this season, which wasn't too long ago on them. So I think they can do some damage on Merzlikins tonight. So give me the Red Wings on the money line.
I'm going to take the over. The goaltending in this game is going to be bad because Elvis Merzlikins is not good. But I guess they got to give him some starts to keep him existing. Detroit can fill the net, so that's good for them. Columbus on home ice, we know what they can do. Their offense is potent as well. Even if it's Cam Talbot in net, it doesn't scare me. I would prefer it to be John Gibson, but even if it's Talbot, I'll take the over. I'm okay with that.
Best value you're going to find on the over right now is minus 105 at Bet Rivers. Otherwise, it's pretty much minus 115 across the board there. So there we go. So now we are through the early games. Now we're through the more of the West Coast friendly games. 1, 2, 3 games to go here. First up, we're going to talk a little Wild at Flames, 9 o'clock Eastern puck drop here. Goaltending matchup is going to be Dustin Wolf against Philip Gustafson. Looking on the money line here for that game, minus 118 Minnesota road favorites. Calgary minus 102. Totals 5.5 here. Wild have a 12-game point streak, 10-0-2, third longest in team history. Minnesota's got a 944 save percentage between both goalies since November 1st. Calgary 4-1-2 in the last 7 home games. Kadri's got 11 points in his last 8. This is another one where Ant Rivers is checking in. He's got the under 5.5 here. So do I. First I want to talk about the fact that the Minnesota only being minus 120 at Calgary really seems like a sucker play, and I'm staying away from that. But if the Flames do have it in them to somehow beat the Wild the way they're playing right now, it's not going to be because they lit up Gustafson. It's going to be because Dustin Wolf stood on his head. So I'm going to take the under here along with Ant and ride that out.
I'm going to take Minnesota. How dare they do that to them? Minnesota's not giving up any goals, and the Flames don't score them. I'm not buying a little bit of recency from Calgary. I'm not doing that. What would you say it was 940-something save percentage since November 1st? That's a month. It's over a month. The Minnesota Wild have found their goaltending has been good. Their defense has been stacked. They're not one of those fun teams to watch anymore where it's just all gas, no brakes. They're much more structured. They're winning some close games. That's fine. Sometimes that's how you got to win hockey games. You have to be a good overall team. And on the road, they're not as good, but I mean, that's just too much disrespect to the Minnesota Wild, and I will not accept it.
Here's what I'm going to compare it to, and I know it's a little bit of apples and oranges. The Blues are minus 144 road favorites against the Bruins, plus 120 at home. The Wild are only minus 115, minus 120 favorites at the Flames. Something about that scale, like that looks like one of those lines, like I said before with Boston, like, ooh, I want to play that, but then it's like, wait a minute, why is that? Sometimes when you see something that easy, it's like, well, what's the reason here? What am I missing? So that's why I still want a piece of this game. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of goals scored. So I think either way, either Minnesota is going to win and Calgary's going to have no problem, not going to be able to score, and Minnesota might win 3-0, 4-0. Or if the Flames somehow pull off the upset, then it's going to be like a 2-1 kind of game or a 3-2 kind of game. So that's my way of playing that safely and kind of avoiding that fishy line. So there we go. 2 games to go here. That's it for Tony Rivers' picks. Appreciate him getting his picks in while he could, being a part of Total Hockey Now. And we appreciate you being a part of Total Hockey Now. Every Thursday, 5 o'clock Eastern, we do our picks at 5:35 for that Thursday night slate there. 2 games to go here. We got the Kraken at the Oilers, 9 o'clock Eastern, puck drop. Goalie matchup tonight, Calvin Pickard, unconfirmed for the Kraken. Looking on the money line here, minus 205 for the Oilers at home. Kraken money line plus 170. Totals 5.5 here. Kraken lost 4-0 to the Oilers just a few days ago and have been shut out in 2 of their last 3. Overall, Oilers are 13-4, including 6-1 all time against the Kraken. Leon Draisaitl, 30 points in 14 career games against the Kraken. So he's gotten multiple points in 4 of his last 8 games, and due to that stat, I'll take him on DraftKings to register 2+ points at plus 145. And the other thing I like about this game too, this is my stupid rules of opposites. If it was 4-0 last week, and we know it's Pickard going for Edmonton, doesn't really matter who's going for the Kraken at this point. Give me the over 5.5 minus 125 at DraftKings. I would parlay those 2. That's what I would do.
I'm gonna take the over as well. The over sitting at 5.5. Damn. I can't believe they think Calvin Pickard is gonna be decent. I'm pretty sure Calvin Pickard's goals against average is over 4. His save percentage is just an absolute mess. I know the Kraken can't score offensively. They're challenged in every way, shape, or form. But I would take the over. I would go as far as taking the Oilers in regulation as well. Like if you don't want to swallow the juice there, right, money line overall, including overtime, I would take the Oilers in regulation. The Kraken just can't score. They just can't figure it out. Even if they get 2 past Calvin Pickard, which is still not much. I do think that the Oilers, they're on home ice. They're going to get the matchups that they want. They're going to roll McDavid out there and Draisaitl. The return of Hyman has been good. The return of Ryan Nugent-Hopkins has helped as well. All of a sudden, this team is starting to get a little bit healthier, and here come the Oilers. So I'll take the Oilers. I'll take the Oilers in regulation, and I'll take the over in this game as well. I'm going to double dip here.
Minus 140 at DraftKings right now for that regulation victory for Edmonton at home tonight, and 2 9 o'clock Eastern puck drops. Our last game here as we approach the top of the hour. Appreciate you watching and tuning in. We got an hour away from our first puck drops of the night in the Thursday night NHL slate for December 4th. We got the Blackhawks and the Kings as the nightcap closing things out here. Starting goalies for this tonight, Spencer Knight likely versus Darcy Kemper. Looking on the money line here, Kings minus 205 home favorites to the Blackhawks plus 170 road dogs. Total 5.5 here. I'm staying away. Blackhawks are 1-4-2 in their last 7 games after going 5-1-1. Connor Bedard, 12 points in his last 8. Kings' 5th best record in the NHL since October 21st, and a 1.91 goals against at home this season. I'm going to go prop route here. Spencer Knight under 26.5 saves, minus 125 at DraftKings. He's gone under this total in 3 straight. The Blackhawks rank 11th in shots allowed the good way at 30.23 goals shots per game. The Kings average 28.6 shots per game and have a league worst 9.2% success rate on the shooting percentage. So what that means is they're picking their spots when they during the stretch where they're doing well. So I'd lean Kings to win, but I think Spencer Knight under 26.5 saves the way to go here.
I can't trust the Kings to win at home. That seems to be a challenge for them. And I can't trust the Blackhawks to win on the road because that's a challenge for them. So we have two mid teams having a mid off. And I don't want anything to do with it. I'm just going to sit back and watch and let these teams, I don't know, do whatever they want to do. This game could finish like 2-1 or it could be 6-5. There is no middle. There is no middle between these two teams. It could be an absolute. I'm also afraid maybe Soderblom walks out of the tunnel or something. Like maybe I expect Darcy Kemper to start.
It's likely him and Knight tonight, according to Daily Faceoff.
It's just both those teams love to just pull out a goalie at as they're heading on to warm-ups. So no, I'm just going to watch this as I fall asleep.
There you go. Blackhawks Kings, of course, the matchup from Swingers. That was always a good one there. They're playing the old NHL. What was it, 93? That game, NHL 90, NHL PA 90. That movie. So there we go. We ran the board. We get through all 10 games in the NHL tonight. At least one of us gave a pick, I think, in all of them. Do we have any mutual stay away spots here? Looking back,
we did.
Penguins Lightning. The only one that neither one of us made a pick from. So 9 of the 10 games, one of us have provided a free pick here at Total Hockey Now during our Thursday pucking preview. We talked about Team Sweden and Team Finland roster projections for the 2026 Olympics in Milan earlier the show. Go back and check that out. Next week, Team USA on the 18th. We'll do Team Canada. What do we got coming up here, Chris, on the next edition of the Slapshot podcast? What did you have on the last episode? What's coming up this episode?
Last episode, right? Obviously, we talked about the Mike Matheson signing his contract, but I also quieted some of the haters who were saying mean things about Uri Slafkovsky. And oh, by the way, he is now just popping goals in the back of the net. I was out there saying that his, goals, his expected goals was in the negatives and it wasn't there yet and it was going to come. And now all of a sudden he is cooking. So you should probably go back, listen to that. I predict the future because, listen, you can't give up on kids. He's literally a child still. He's turning 22. He's going to be just fine. Scored another one yesterday. We're going to do a player profile tomorrow, one specific player. And I'm going to give you my take on whether he should be on one of these Olympic rosters or not. Spoiler alert, he should be. So that's what we got coming up.
Some good news there. Scott Wedgwood only day-to-day for the Avalanche. Just seeing that coming across an NHL network. So as strong as Mackenzie Blackwood's playing, he ain't going to play like that forever. But good to know that the Wedgwood injury, so they can just keep playing the hot hand, alternate, do whatever they got to do between the two Wood guys there. Also, I believe you've got some DFS plays over at fantasyalarm.com/NHL.
Fantasyalarm.com/NHL and put the playbook together. I'd already did it today. I will be doing it tomorrow as well. If you do not have a Fantasy Alarm subscription, go ahead, head over there. They're running a Cyber Week sale. You get 50% off your first month. Tons of great stuff there. My work as well. You get Josh Wagner's work as well. If you play daily fantasy, if you want some betting content, not just hockey, if you care about the football as well, our Bender's pumping out there. It's just so much money being pumped out. Listen, I'm not encouraging, tax evasion and tax fraud, but I'm just saying it's a good problem to have.
Just for the record, to bring back Howard Bender's old show, Getting Buzzed, that I used to produce for him, I would punch you in the face to bring that back. No disrespect, no hate. Just saying, I want the show to come back. For our friend at Ant Rivera 86, Subway to Shea podcast, he's got the winter meetings covered. I'm plenty of talk there with the Mets going on. For me, and at Mr. Jared Moore, at Rip and Riff on Mondays, we talk plenty of football. We recap the Sunday. We look ahead to the next week, talk hockey. We rip packs of cards. We have a good time and a few laughs. Also, I give you all the free picks on Thursdays here, but for the rest of the week, you can find my picks at wizardsportspicks.com for the NHL. And who knows, maybe on Tuesday nights, if you stay up late, you might catch me on VSiN doing a few minutes there with Dustin Swedelson looking at the Wednesday hockey slate. Now, before I go, I do have to, this is the last game of the Beer League Thursday night season for me. We are not going to the playoffs. We have clinched last place. But what we can do is we can keep the team that's trying to get the last playoff spot out, the Zombies. And we're starting a new rivalry series, a post-Thanksgiving rivalry. That's right. We're playing for the Golden Gizzard tonight. There we go. This is all the doing of the other team. The other team, is my understanding, the Zombies have somebody on the team that's very financially well off. So they're able to have literally 5 different jerseys that they can wear. They have jumpsuits. They have personalized sticks. Must be nice. Nonetheless, they're the team in the league everybody gets along with and likes. They've chosen us to be as part of the Great Pumpkin Showdown here. Maybe I'll be hoisting this at about 9 o'clock Pacific tonight. We'll see.
That is fantastic. How, like, you guys clinched last, but like, were you guys like really, really bad? Like, was this like rebuilding kind of years, kind of bad there, like San Jose, Chicago rebuilding years?
What it was is our captain went to Europe for a few months to go gallivant with his son and help him out there. So we didn't have him. He's one of our better players. Our goalie, who's very much our security blanket, Love Miles, he's one of those goalies that bails us out of time. We didn't have him for a lot of
Damn.
There were reasons we were barely a 500 team on a good day to begin with, but we're looking ahead to next year. It's like I said in the email tonight for the line combinations. This is a 1-game season. We have a chance to play for a trophy tonight. Nothing else matters. And then we'll worry about next season, January 8th.
Talk to that captain on the Zombies. I would love a customized personal stick. You put my name on it.
So it's the team logo. It says Zombies Hockey. It's like the green and purple. They're that team.
That's Silicon Valley money hits different, huh? I gotta buy regular sticks from the store.
I mean, my sticks are whatever I find on sale at Hockey Monkey or purehockey.com. Like, oh, that one's only $70-$80. Great. So that'll be fun. But yeah, we just got our white jerseys this year. We just added a second set. So
well, I hope you're lifting a turkey by the end of the night.
That's the only turkey I want to lift because I'm done on leftover turkey. Enough. Like it's old. My wife stretched it out to make Popeyes with black. I am done on turkey. 26. 4 at Fuzzy Chris 91. I am at Pucking Thoughts Adam Bernard. Thank you as always for watching, tuning in, like, subscribe, follow. Anything helps. We're always happy here to give you free picks every Thursday. Talk a little fantasy hockey, talk some futures, whatever you want. Next week we'll do a little Team USA roster building for the 2026 Olympics. But thanks for watching, folks. Back to you next week. Total Hockey Now, 5 o'clock Eastern.